Or into a seated cross-legged position or kneeling, whatever works for you and your body today. And allow the eyes to comfortably close. And take a moment to arrive in this space. Just letting your day go. Awareness fully into this present moment, into the here and now. Awareness of the body on the surface beneath you. Awareness to the breath in the body, rising and falling. Watching the flow of the breath coming in and going out. And begin to allow the breath to deepen. So exhale fully as you draw navel back toward the spine. And inhale deeply as the belly expands wide like a big balloon. Exhaling, navel draws back toward the spine. And inhale, expanding the stomach wide like a big balloon. You can either stay with this belly breathing or have your breath as normal, or continue with me into 3-part breath. So exhale fully as navel draws back toward the spine. Inhale, expanding the stomach, the ribs, and the chest. And exhale, releasing from the chest, ribs, and stomach. Inhale, expanding stomach, ribs, and chest. And exhale, releasing chest, ribs, and stomach. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Just beginning to allow that exhalation to be a little longer than the inhalation, helping to relax the mind and the body. If you wish, as you breathe in, you can mentally say relax. And as you breathe out, let go. Breathe in, mentally say relax. And breathe out, let go. And keeping the eyes closed, if you wish, release the hands and reach your arms up over the head toward the ceiling, or if you're on the floor, just reach them up toward the sky and then over the head toward the floor behind you. And then exhale, release the hands back down toward the legs. Inhale, rising the arms up. And exhale, lower the arms back down. Inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, letting them lower. And once more, inhale, rising them up. And exhale, allow them to lower. So we're going to come to a twist. If you're seated, take one hand to the opposite knee, the other hand behind you. If you're lying, bend your knees and drop your knees to one side, gaze to the other. With your arms out, maybe into T position, if you're lying on the mat. Connect with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale as you twist in the opposite direction. Gaze behind you if you're in seated. Gaze in the opposite direction to which your knees are pointed if you're lying. Breath in. And breath out. Breath in. And breath out. Inhale as you come back to center. So for those that are seated, reach your arms forward, allow the forehead to release down. If you're lying on your back, bend your knees, bring your knees in toward the chest. Breathing in to the rib area, trying to expand the breath into the back and the sides and the front of the ribs, so that 360-degree breath. And then coming back to your original position, rolling through the shoulders. If you're on your back of the body, take the gaze to one side and the other. So just moving through the neck if you're on the back of the body. And then coming to your central position, joining me if you wish for 3 arms. Take a breath in. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginaha Kammadam Mokshadam Chave Omkaraya Namo Namaha. Om united with the source on which the yogis ever dwell, grants desires and liberation, salutations to the Omkaram. Netra Vyaman, eye movements. Taking the gaze up to 12 o'clock, gliding the eyes around to 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Center the eyes, close the eyes, take a gentle breath in and away. Gentle breath in and away. Gaze to 12 o'clock and then the opposite way around. It's allowing the eyes to go fully around the clock 2 times. When your eyes reach back to 12 o'clock, allow the eyes to close and take a few deep breaths. When you're ready, bring the hands together, rubbing to create some warmth. Then placing the hands over the eyes, allowing the forehead to rest slightly in the hands, face soothing pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Then release the hands. Come across the forehead with the fingertips from side to side. The eyelids. Massaging the temples. The cheeks. Front to the ears. Back to the ears. Top to the ears. Sides. Bottom. All over the ears. And especially the point where the ear connects to the head. Just around that area. Around the back of the neck. And then squeezing down the arms. All the way to the hands. And then giving the hands a little shake out. And then making your way up to a standing position. So take your feet hip distance apart, and then lift your shoulders and release them back down. Inhale as you lift your shoulders, and exhale as you release back down. Good. Wonderful. And then dropping the chin in towards chest. Drop your chin towards the chest. And one ear toward one shoulder. Chin back towards the chest. Other ear toward the other shoulder. So stretching through the side of the neck, going nice and gentle. Each time just see if you can lift the chin maybe a little bit more, if that feels good on the neck. The chin's coming toward the chest, and all the way to the side, and then rising up. So semicircle with the chin, with the head. And last one. Chin back toward the chest, and a rise in the head back. Coming to the front of the mat, bringing your hands to your heart center, drop your shoulders down and away from the ears. And as you inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky, taking the arms wide, bending your knees and hinging forward from the hips, allowing the hands to reach the floor. Bend your knees, taking your left foot back and the right foot back, reaching out through your arms and sinking down into child's pose. Allow the arms to stretch out. Take a breath in and a breath out. If your shoulders are tight and you prefer, bend your elbows. Breath in and breath out. Rising up onto all fours, cat and cow, chin toward the chest, round through the back, arch through the back into cow. So when you arch through the back, make sure you draw your shoulders back toward your hips, rounding and arching. Back to neutral, so back to where we began. Taking the gaze towards one toe and then the other. So from side to side, gaze to one foot and the other. So as you take your gaze to the right, allow your hips to move to the left. As you take your gaze to the left, allow the hips to come to the right. Good, and releasing. From your all fours position, taking your right foot out to the side. And then from here, you can either stay up high, so you're kind of on all fours with just the leg extended, or you can reach your arms forward and allow the forehead to drop down toward the floor. So it's like a child's pose, but with your leg out to the side and your bum in the air. If that's too much, you can always think back more into child's pose, so your bum comes towards your feet, or you could just be in standard child. Breath in, breath out. Connect with the breath. Allow the breath to relax the body. Rising up, bring the hands in slightly, bringing the foot in, switching side. Leg out. You might want to just stay up high or walk the hands forward dropping the forehead down toward the floor. Now, if you're really high up, doesn't matter. You could have a block underneath your head if you had one. Breathing in, and breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. Walking the hands back in slightly, bringing the left leg in, interthread the needle, weight into the left hand, right arm out to shoulder height or higher up. Bend the supporting arm as you thread the arm through. Allow the side of the head to drop down toward the floor. Connect with the breath. Deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out. Deep breath in. The long, slow breath out. If you want a deeper stretch, you can reach your left arm forward, up to the sky, or around the back of the body. If you can't reach the side of the head down toward the floor, you can do an alternative where you thread the right arm toward the left shoulder without bending so deeply, and then rising back up. So you make it a moving stretch. If you move your left hand, release it back down to the mat, and then rising back up onto all fours, return into cat and cow, or tuck your toes, lift and lengthen into downward dog, bending one knee and the other, stretching out through your toes. And releasing the knees back down so you're onto your all fours again. Onto the other side, weighting to the right hand, left arm up to shoulder height or higher. Bend your supporting arm as you thread all the way through, drop the side of the head down. If that's too much, just take the left hand toward the right shoulder, the outer edge, and then rise back up. If you're lower down toward the floor, you can move your right hand by extending the right arm forward, up to the sky, or wrapping the arm around the back of the body. See which one feels best for you and your body. Neck must feel happy here. If not, move, adjust. Breathe in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And release the hand back to the mat if you lifted it up. And then coming back up onto all fours, returning to cat and cow or downward dog. If you're in downward dog, allow the neck to rest by giving the head a little shake. Take your gaze toward your shins. Press down through your hands as you lead the body backwards, lifting the tailbone up toward the sky. Bend your knees if you need to. And releasing back down onto all fours, lowering down onto your forearms, and then lowering down onto the front of the body for a back extension. Hands underneath the shoulders, draw the elbows back. If your back's been hurting, bring your feet apart or pop a cushion underneath your belly. Inhale as you rise your head, neck and chest up. Draw the shoulders back, nice and long through the back. Hold, or if you prefer, lift and lower, lift and lower. If you want a deeper stretch through the shoulders, interlace your hands behind you, and as you inhale, reach your arms away. Breathing in and breathing out. If the back feels okay, you have your feet together. Maybe see if you can lift the hands slightly if you've got them interlaced behind you. Perhaps seeing if you can bring the palms together. Maybe not. See what works. And releasing down, taking the cheek to the side or crossing the arms over, resting the forehead on the backs of the arms. And taking your hands back underneath the shoulders into downward dog or child's. If you want a deeper downward dog, and come down onto your forearms. And for a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs. And deeper still, you can walk your hands closer towards your feet. I'm just going to stay here. It's enough for me today. And returning to standard downward dog. If you drop your forearms down or move the feet. Then bending both knees. We're going to come into a lunge. So we can either take the weight into the left leg, right leg extends, and then bending the leg forward, or drop both knees down, right foot forward. Rising up if you have that back foot down, and then pivoting through the back foot. So you're in your warrior two legs. Front toes facing forward, other toes facing the side. Reach your right arm up to the sky. And bend the elbow. Taking hold of the elbow, draw the elbow in toward the body, reach the opposite hand around, taking hold of the fingertips, if not your top, or use a strap. Same arm up as the leg that is forward. Bend your front knee if you want a deeper stretch. You can come down to 90 degrees. Doesn't have to. Make sure the knee doesn't go over the toe. If you want more challenge, you can lift your heel for the front foot. Otherwise, stay as you are. Make sure the neck can move. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So if your shoulders are quite tight here, just stay here, release out even. If you want to, you can hinge forward just in front of the bent leg. Breath in and breath out. And then rising back up, release the arms, rolling out through your shoulders, changing directions with the feet. Woo, needs to lift. Turn your toe the other way. Bend your front knee, decide how deep you're going to come. Is it going to be deeper, less? Make sure your knee isn't over the toes. Reach your left arm up, same arm as the front bent leg. Bend the elbow. Draw the elbow in toward the body, reach the other arm around. Keep the stomach drawn in, protecting through the back. Make sure the knee tracks roughly your second toe. If your knees ache at all, you can just straighten through the legs. Draw your shoulders back. Breath in and breath out. More challenge. Lift the heel of the front foot. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Release the arms, rolling out through your shoulders. Turn both toes now to face the front of the mat. So traditionally your toes come inside of the heels and further out. I find that just no good for my hips, so I have my toes facing forward. See how your hips are, see how your knees are. Adjust as needed. Interlace your hands behind you. Inhale as you reach your arms away, opening up through the shoulders, and then hinge forward from the hips as you reach your arms away from the back of the body. It doesn't matter how deep you come, as long as you're feeling a stretch through your shoulders. Breathe in deeply into any areas which feel restricted for you. Keep the stomach drawn in. Keep the spine long. Head is released, particularly if you're deeper down in 90 degrees. No tension in the head. Taking the arms slightly to one side, back to center, and then the other side. Back to center, draw the stomach in. And as you inhale, rise all the way back up and then rolling out through your shoulders. Taking the weight into the right foot and your right toes to face the front of the mat and bringing the back foot to meet it. Bring your hands to your heart center, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head, drop the shoulders down, draw the elbows back slightly, squeeze the buttocks, engage with your leg muscles, keep the knees slightly bent, ever so slightly. Lift your toes, spread your toes wide, and place them back down one time. Inhale as you reach your arms up. Exhale as you take the arms wide, draw the stomach in, hinging forward from your hips, bend your knees deeply, taking the right foot back, gaze forward, and the left foot back into downward dog or child if you prefer. Deep breath in, and a long, slow breath out. Deep breath in, and a long, slow breath out. And then making your way down onto the front of the body, lying down onto the front of the body. So I'm just going to show you the arms. So you can either, we're going to go to cobra, so either the hands underneath the shoulders, hands interlaced behind the back of the body, or come into prayer. So your fingertips are facing down, elbows are drawn back, or fingertips facing up, elbows drawn back. So you're doing this whilst you're on the front of the body. So any of those options with the arms. And then as you inhale, rise up the head, neck, and chest. Another option, you could take hold of your wrist or take hold of your elbows. Breath in, and a breath out. A breath in, and breath out. And releasing cheek to one side or cross over the arms, forehead on the backs of the arms. Deep breath in, and a long, slow breath out. Then bringing the forehead toward the floor, extend your left arm out to the side in alignment with your shoulders. Taking the right hand underneath the right shoulder, bend the right foot. Press down into your right hand as you roll onto the side of the body, stretching out your shoulder. Now, if you need to, you can bend the bottom leg. Otherwise, the bottom leg is straight, or you might have them both bent, stacked on top of one another. If that feels okay, have your bottom leg out straight, and then rise your top knee up toward the sky, so your foot drops down toward the floor. So my right foot is firmly planted on the floor, my left leg is out straight, unless you're in the easier version with both legs bent. The left hand is ideally directly in alignment with your left shoulder. Your head slightly lifted off the floor, so you've got that nice neck alignment. Do drop it down if it needs to, though, or place a cushion underneath the head. Right arm option. Reach your arm up to the sky or back toward the hand behind you. Deeper, you can bend your left leg and lift your left knee up. This is quite deep. You can end up getting your right hand toward the left hand. I'm nowhere near that, but maybe you can, maybe you can't. It doesn't matter. We're looking for a stretch right at the front of the left shoulder. And then releasing back out. So we'll try the reverse on the other side. Right arm out to the side. Bend your left foot. Roll onto the right side of the body. So if you want to make it easier, bend both knees now and stack them on top of one another and just stay there. Harder. Extend your bottom leg. Lift the top knee up toward the sky. Your right arm is extended out to the side. Option to lift the left arm up to the sky or reach toward the hand behind you. Deeper, you bend the bottom leg And lift the bottom knee up as well to meet that top knee. So don't come deeper. If you're already feeling the stretch, one of the beginning options, just stay there. Breathing in, breathing out. It's quite a deep stretch. You should never feel any like shooting pains or anything like that. There is just ease off, rest. And slowly releasing back out, drop the hand back down, rolling back onto the front of the body. Release your arm, cheek to the other side or cross over the arms, rest the forehead on the backs of the arms. Deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. Then from here, bring your hands underneath the shoulders, press down into the hands, into child's or downward dog. If you're in downward dog and you want more of a challenge, taking your right hand toward your left leg. Otherwise, cat-cow or child's. Release. Left hand toward the right leg. And release. Release your knees to the floor and coming into a cross-legged seated position or another seated position that works for you. I'm going to turn my back to you just so you can see what I'm doing. Interlace your fingers. Inhale as you reach the arms away from the body. Taking the hands toward your right hip. Draw the right elbow back. Lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the stomach in. Allow one ear to drop toward one shoulder. Rise the head back up. Then opposite ear toward the other shoulder. Rise head back up. So you're coming from side to side with your neck. If you can't reach your hands toward your hips, you could just have your hands behind you interlaced. You could take hold of your wrist or just your elbows. Breath is flowing. Rise head back up, reach your arms behind you. Take the hands to the opposite hip. Left elbow draws in. Then ear toward one shoulder. Rise up and the other. If you find in a cross-legged position you're rounded through your back, come to a chair or something now, or kneeling instead, or pop a block, a cushion underneath your buttocks so you're lifted a little higher. So you want a nice straight back, especially when we're doing neck stretches. Of course, you don't have to have the arms, you could just do here toward the shoulder. Noting how the neck feels. Rise head back up, release your arms, roll out through your shoulders, use the elbows. Maybe full circles, the arms straight. Good, and releasing. Coming down onto the back of the body. Dropping down to your forearms, and then lowering back into bridge, feet slightly away from the buttocks. Press your hands down onto the mat, draw the stomach in. So we're going to peel off vertebrae by vertebrae, lifting the lower, middle, and upper back. Unless you've got osteoporosis or the back doesn't like that, and just lift the hips, keeping the back straight, and then lowering back down. If you wish, you can use the arms as you rise, the hips up, reach your arms over the head towards the floor behind you. Then exhale as you lower back down, trying to allow the buttocks and the hands to drop down toward the floor at the same time. If you want to make it slightly harder, you can have your heels lifted as you rise up. And then you can either drop them as you lower back down or keep them up. This is also nice if you do have a wall, to have your feet up against the wall, so you're at a 90-degree kind of angle, and then press into the feet and lift up through the back. So you're saying, this is recommended really for if you're definitely peeling off vertebrae by vertebrae, because then you can give your back a lovely massage, the pressure onto the wall. Allow that pressure to be deeper into the back. And releasing. So we can either keep the flowing movements going or rise up into bridge. Then from here, interlace your fingers. Draw the elbows in towards one another. Draw the shoulders in towards one another. Press down through your hands. You'll see your little fingers are on the floor. Your forearms are on the floor. And you press down through your arms as you lift your hips up toward the ceiling, making sure the lower back feels okay. To deepen it, you can lift your heels. Otherwise, just as we were doing before. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. If you're as I am, release your heels, release the hands out to the side, and coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. Draw one knee in toward the chest and the other, taking hold of your shins or round the backs of the legs. And if it feels good for you, roll from side to side, releasing out any tension in the lower back. So I'm going to offer a seated twist. If anyone prefers to just stay here, you can take your arms into a T and take your knees to one side, breathe, and then to the other. Otherwise, rolling onto the side of the body, coming up to a seated position. Extending both legs out. Bending in the right knee. Then crossing the foot over the body, maybe, or maybe not, maybe keep it as it is. Easier, your foot can be near your ankle, harder, your foot is near your body. Reach your right arm up, taking the left hand to the shin, reach your right arm up to the sky. Twist to the right, take the hand behind you. Now, with your left hand, if you want to deepen it, you can hug your knee in toward your chest. Toes of the extended leg drawn up toward the sky. Lift through the crown of the head, trying to keep your hand close to the body so the back's nice and straight. If you want deeper, you can bend your left knee and take the left heel toward your right. Left heel toward your right hip. So that's much deeper. Maybe you can reach your right hand around towards the left leg. So there's no weight in the back of the body. There's no weight leaning. It's really our core muscles, our muscles of the back lifting us. And inhale as you come back to center. Bring your hands to your heart. Reach both arms up to the sky. And release your hands. Release the leg. Shake it. Left leg coming in, decide if you're going to cross over or not. Right toes drawn back, particularly the little toe. Sometimes that can really reach away. Draw that little toe back. Right hand to the shin, left arm reach, left and lengthen up to the sky. If you find your back's rounded, drop a cushion underneath the back of the body, the tailbone, or bend your right knee. Twisting to the left. Moving your left hand around if you want to deepen it. So your elbow, crook of the arm comes by your knee. Lift and lengthen. Maybe you take your right foot to deepen it toward your left hip. Maybe not. And perhaps the left hand reaches around the back of the body. Don't forget the alternative, lying on your back, knees to one side, breathing up and down the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, lift and lengthen, come back to center, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Can you stay there? And releasing. Release the legs, shaking out. Scooching the buttocks forward, then lying down on the back of the body into happy baby. Knees apart, knees toward your armpit, hands behind the backs to the legs, maybe the calves, maybe to the ankles. Your toes are drawn back as though you're walking on the ceiling, knees are apart. You might be able to reach your big toe or maybe round to the soles of the feet. Make sure that the lower back, the sacrum area is down onto the mat. If it feels soothing, you can rock from side to side. And coming back to center, release one leg to the mat and the other. Ready for relaxation. Extend one leg and the other. Toes resting to the outer edges of your mat. Or if you prefer, bend your knees and allow your knees to draw into one another. Creating extra support on the back. If you're at home, of course, you can be on your bed or on your sofa if it's near. Inviting all the muscles of the body to let go. Allowing the earth to hold you. We'll be taking a deep breath in. When we take a deep breath in, at the same time we draw the toes back, extend out through the heels, make fists with our hands, lift the arms off the floor, squeeze the buttocks, squeeze all the leg muscles, draw the toes back, maybe you can squish the muscles of the face, and then release them. We'll do that 3 times. So inhale, tighten, 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 squeeze, 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 and release. 2 more, squeeze, and release. And last one, squeeze, connecting to any tension in the body, any stresses. And exhale, release them from the body, letting go. Gentle breath in, and a gentle breath out. Awareness to the top of the head. Inviting all the muscles on the top of the head to release and let go. Allow that relaxation to continue to spread down the body, down the sides of the face, down the front of the head, back of the head, down the neck to the shoulders. Take a gentle breath in and let go. And down the back of the body, down the front of the body, down the arms to the hands and the fingers and the thumbs. Gentle breath in and away. Continuing down the body, down to the hip, thigh, knees, calves and the shins, down to the ankles, feet and the toes. Gentle breath in and away. Whole of the body on the top of the head, down to the tips of the fingers and tips of the toes. Completely relaxed. Awareness to the breath. Watching the steady flow of the breath. Coming and going. Awareness to the mind. And allowing thoughts to pass by. Like clouds in a summer sky. Awareness to the peace within. And bathing in the peace within. the awareness back to the breath. Allowing the breath to deepen. Inviting movement into the fingers, the thumbs, the wrists, the ankles. Bending one knee and the other. Slowly, gently rolling onto the side of the body. And up into a seated position for a little pranayama breathing practice. Nadi Sudhi, alternative nostril breathing, left hand, take the thumb and forefinger together. Right hand, make a fist. Release the last two fingers in the thumb. And if those two fingers that are left in can come into the crook of the thumb, allow them to come there. Sometimes it's a little difficult, so just wherever they are is okay. So the last two fingers are out and the thumb. And then close in the right nostril. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. And continue with that flow as you're breathing out one nostril in, the same, and then switching. Out, in, and then switching. When you breathe out next through your left nostril, release the hands down and take a 3-part breath in through the stomach, ribs and chest, and exhale, release from the chest, ribs, stomach. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Allow the breath to return to its usual pace. Take a moment to observe how you feel. Loka Samasta, closing prayer. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all of the beings in the world be happy. Peace and joy, love and light. One heart, one love. One heart, one love, all one, all one. Jai Shri Satguru Prem Jai. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Most welcome.